All right, guys, welcome back. It's me, Daniel, of VintageMagic.com, and today's video is not a hate on Rudy video. I want to be very clear. This is a very objective, my viewpoint, my opinion, and, well, pretty much fact on what's happened in graded cards itself. Rudy has purchased 69% of PCG, Premier Grading Card Services, the North American part of it. I'm not even sure how much he paid. It's irrelevant because the reality is, my opinion on it, it's basically going to be a restaurant that's going to fail pretty much in a year or two, in my opinion. Now, it may survive just by bleeding money here and there, or maybe out of ego, but all in all, I don't see it being successful. And here's the main reason why. There's a few points, but here's the main reason why. I've been around the block. I've been doing this grading thing since PSA pretty much started in the beginning. Beckett emerged. Then you have SGC. And then obviously CGC has now combined into multiple entities to become its own grading thing for itself. And those are pretty much the 4 top grading companies in the world. Now, I'm all for entrepreneurial stuff, all for investing, all that kind of stuff. Rudy can do whatever he wants with his money. But no one's going to want to long-term use or have and collect a what is it called? A CSG? I'm sorry. There's so many. See, the acronym itself is literally confusing. CSG or, no, Premier Grading Services. PGS? See, I don't even remember what it is. Regardless of what it is, it starts with a P. It is not going to survive because, first off, 4 major grading companies already exist in the world of TCG and sports cards. That's the first thing. They have more money than Rudy. That's the second thing. Third thing is there's a saturation in other grading card companies already. Let's just name the big one. Arena Club. Look it up. Arena Club. Funded by Derek Jeter and another famous Chinese investor. Forgot his name already. They have the Arena Vault, which is mirroring the Vault system, like eBay Vault, Golden Vault, or whatever, Beckett Vault. The Vault system is saturated too. We'll do another video about that later on. So they are funded by Derek Jeter, the New York Yankee Hall of Famer legend. More money than Rudy, more clout, more fame, more famous. And they can't grow worth shit. Yeah. They have $7 grading fees. If you submit it to the Vault, $10 normal fees. Doesn't matter if it's Magic cards, baseball cards, Pokemon cards, Weiss, whatever cards. Yes, you can speak. Rudy's grading, this grading company, is focused on TCG cards. So anything but sports cards, which I guess can be like, it's like a specialty auto dealership, you want to call it. But that's another factor why it will fail too. It's not going to go anywhere because you're only on one specific area of grading is TCG. You need to have it all, in my opinion. That's another reason. I don't know how many reasons I've given so far, but that's another reason. But speaking of the Derek Jeter thing, right, the Arena Club, I've done a video about this before. They have pumped a lot of money, marketing, publicity into this stuff, and it is going nowhere. Another company is called ISA Grading. Ownership is with Otea Sports, a guy named Jason Kuntz. Knew the guy when I was super young, started my business in sports cards years ago. And he basically has become a kind of an investor in these type of in sports cards with guys like Gary Vee, other people. He's consulted, invest in different positions. And he has more money than Rudy. Way more money than Rudy, right? What's next? PokeRev. PokeRev is, famous YouTuber. Is he going to start a Pokemon grading company? That's going to fail. But he has started Pokemon packs, which I kind of like, which I'll do a little talk about that later on. That's kind of interesting. Where you can purchase old Pokemon packs and have tiers and levels, which I thought is pretty cool. Everybody's trying to invest and get, obviously, and I appreciate this entrepreneurial side, to use their cash into something that will produce more return. You have to risk something to make more money. But this particular investment is terrible. Here's another reason why. Grading companies are a lot like restaurants, where they are operationally driven and marketing driven. The functionality of it is pretty much the same. You have a card, you have operations who basically grade, you have graders who grade the cards and slab them, right? You have to have people that inspect the cards, record the cards. There's a website cost. There's management costs. There's advertising, marketing costs. They're all pretty much the same thing. The difference here is money. Who the hell is PSG or whatever company is, whatever this is? What is it? Who knows about it? He's done what? Very little video, advertising, marketing of it. I haven't seen them at many shows in general. And that leads to the whole thing about, obviously, probably the core part about grading is, it's not that their grading, let's say, is spectacular or they're more consistent or knowledgeable. Yeah, you can go that direction. It's the sheer juggernaut of amount of cards that have already been graded in the marketplace. From PSA, BGS, CGC, and, well, SGG is not really a player in Magic cards, but let's just say that as sports cards. So you're basically trying to penetrate a market that's already saturated. Also with these new graders, new grading companies, ISA, and there's like so many sports card graders, like ones that use like special robots and, fancy specs and, they show you why it's been bad, what it is. I have my own opinions on what a grading company should be. I have all these great ideas. Some of these ideas that these other companies had, they didn't ask me, but it happened. But I actually thought about doing my own magic degrading company. I had ideas using, ways to grade ungraded cards and using like kind of the RFID chips or whatever. And so basically you could track the card where it's at for theft. You can get all the information, kind of like a microchip. But again, comes back to capital costs. Reality is, I'll take this home on this one, is that you have to convince both the collector and the vendors, the dealers, to basically grade your cards. And obviously you have the investors. The reason why those are important, it's kind of a synergy, is that the vendors, the dealers like myself, have to buy into paying money into grading the cards. You can entice them with better grading fees, faster turnaround times, etc. Then in turn, the vendors need to sell to the collectors or investors. And then they will, the market has to eat up that inventory, make a profit that is relatively comparable to Beckett, PSA, etc., and have that confidence in the market. But the most important thing is that collector and investor area. Because if the collector never really buys from the vendor, and the vendor spends, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 a grading fee, whatever the large capital cost is, and they're stuck with all of these cards, even if they're alpha cards, whatever, good grades, etc., and they're not getting the premiums that you would think they would get for quads and quad pluses and pristines like Beckett, then you have a bunch of wasted plastic that's going to pollute in the ocean, in the garbage waste of landfills, that you're going to be cracking them out and resubmitting them back into, yeah, you got it, BGS, PSA, CGC. Let's just stick with that for TCG cards. Think about that. Why in the world, as a vendor, would you spend money, even for lower grading costs, then in turn have those cards resubmitted or reviewed into those other companies because they're not going to sell for the premiums or get the grades that you want, or the buyers, the collectors, investors don't give a fuck about them because they want BGS, PSA cards, because the collectors and the investors already have so much capital cost in all those other grading companies. It's such a stupid investment. You know what? The guy is a genius and marketing in some other areas, but this is like owning a Round Table Pizza. Honestly, I'm just going to throw it out there. Like owning a franchise that's just a dead pizza industry. I don't think it's a great franchise, in my opinion, Round Table Pizza. I mean, I've had their pizza. It's okay. Not a great franchise, in my opinion. There's so many other competitors in the pizza industry. Why the hell would you just buy a Round Table Pizza? Do you even know what Round Table Pizza is? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? My point is pretty clear. It's a terrible investment. So I've been asked this question. I figured I'd do this Ask Daniel response. Not to hate on Rudy. I could care less what he does in his investments. He can, own a strip club. I could give a shit. The rat's ass. Do whatever he wants. But this is obviously in my wheelhouse of investing and collecting. Terrible investment. I recently submitted like 500 plus cards to Beckett. I was going to do a bunch of CGC stuff first, but I realized, what is the point? The collectors, the fan base want Beckett cards. Are Beckett the best graders in the world? No, I don't think they are. But the market demand, the appetite is in Beckett cards. So what do? Obviously, what he's trying to do is arbitrage, put a little bit of disruption in the market. A little too late, my friend. Not going to happen. Comment below. Let me know what you think. That's all I really got for this one. Lesson learned here is that you may like Rudy. You may love him. But the investment ideas that he has, the products he pushes out, I want to call it shilling, more like marketing, may not be a good solid product. Make a wise decision before you invest. He even said on one of his recent videos that he hasn't really made money in Magic the Gathering in general for a long time. And I'm going to do a video about Troll and Toad and them obviously no longer buy listing Magic the Gathering cards, singles, and obviously Magic the Gathering products. They're phasing out, and why that is a very interesting sign of what's to come. All right, that's all I got, guys. If you guys have any cards to sell, anything, call me, text me, 206-914-7974. I'm still buying a lot of cards. Old cards, by the way, not new cards. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Tell me in the comments below what you think. Am I wrong? Full of shit? Hating on Rudy? Could care less. All right, guys, take care.
Hey guys, it's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm here to share with you more about our deck and set collector fulfillment service. The deck fulfillment service caters to the player. And what that basically means is if you are a player looking to fulfill your old school Magic deck, certain Power 9 or key pieces in your Vintage deck, or dual lands in your Legacy deck, we have the inventory and the resources to help you fulfill your needs. Next, we have the set collector fulfillment service. This really caters more towards the collector. Oftentimes I've been asked, hey Dan, can you help me find this specific graded card for this set? Or Dan, can you find me these 20 cards left in my beta set? It doesn't matter what you're looking for, even if it's like every single Sarah Angel possible out there, I can help you out. My resources and extensive network in Magic the Gathering, I was able to help thousands of clients all over the world fulfill their needs. I've made it my mission at VintageMagic.com to be your one-stop shop for all your collector needs. For any significant item or collection, we're able to travel anywhere in the world to meet you. The reason why my clients love this service because it saves you time. What happens is collectors and players often search all over online or vendors and they never find exactly what they're looking for. By going to us, we are the only one-stop shop who can help you with your needs. Using our service gets you exactly what you want and saves you time and money.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.